Hi everyone, this is Angie Montgomery. Thanks for being here with me today. I'm sitting here in my little Reiki meditation nook and I wanted to do a really quick video to talk a little bit about the solar eclipse that happened at the end of August. So it's just been a couple weeks ago now, and then we had a new moon just about 3 nights ago as well. So with a lot of shifts in the energy and a solar eclipse and the new moon, that means that there's new energies coming in. It also calls for us to really be clear on our own intentions, what we'd like to release, and then what we'd like to bring in as well. And one thing I've learned a lot with the solar eclipse is for those that have been doing their work, so those of us who have really been digging in to do our inner work, to really release old patterns, to heal old wounds, to really become more awakened, if you will, spiritually, the new energies that the solar eclipse brought in were easier for us to kind of be able to incorporate into our lives. For those of you who maybe have not been on that spiritual journey or that path of really awakening and dealing with old patterns, releasing and letting go of things that are no longer serving you in your life, it might have felt a little bit more difficult and a little bit more like negative energies coming in or some disruption occurring within yourself. Either path, either way is great. It's on point. It's what's meant to be happening for each of us individually, but also collectively. So if you were that person who has been doing their work and is really in tune with nature, with God consciousness, with really moving forward on your spiritual journey, there are some things I'm sure that you're experiencing as well. Some old patterns, it could be old relationships, it could be old dynamics, things that you really need to let go of. It's going to be calling you towards that as well. For those of you who maybe have not been doing your work, same thing. It just might be a little more disruptive. You might be feeling a little more chaotic. Your energy might be a little bit more scattered. You might be kind of wondering, why do I feel out of sorts? What's going on with me? You might feel a little more disruption. Just know that with the solar eclipse and with the new moon just a couple nights ago, it's really asking us to get clear with ourselves on our direction. Where are we at in our life? Where do we need to go? What are things that are holding us back? What are ways that we're holding ourselves back? And a lot of times it's going to ask us to look at what relationships do we have in our life? Who's surrounding us? And are the right people really along our path? So this time of major transition, when you have a lot of these different dynamics going on, it's a great time for us to get clear within ourselves and to really ask ourselves those difficult questions. Wanted to give a couple of tips today on some tools that you can do to move forward along that path. If this resonates with you and you say, oh, I'm totally getting this, girl, I am feeling this way, then I will urge you to sit down with yourself sometime in the next couple of days, light a candle, do a prayer, do a meditation, whatever works for you. Ask God to come in to show you, what is this new moon energy? What is this new solar eclipse? What are things that I, in particular, need to learn from this? What are things that maybe I'm having a hard time letting go of that I really need to get clear on for myself? Jot down whatever comes to your mind. Keep that sheet of paper near and dear. And over the next 7 days, really pray. Ask God for the answers. Ask God, I got this in my meditation. I got this in my prayer time with you. Show me the way. What do I need to learn from this? What do I need to let go of? Because one thing I've learned when we have a new moon, when we have a big shift like a solar eclipse, the interesting thing is a lot of us are ready. It doesn't mean that we're not ready to let go of those old patterns, old relationships, old habits that are no longer bringing us to our higher self, really the purpose of what we're here for. So it's not that we're not necessarily ready, it's that it's hard to do in actuality, kind of easy in theory, but more difficult in the reality that we live in because we have these big old hearts and we like to hold on to things. And sometimes it's really hard, even if we know that we need to make some changes, it can be difficult to do that. So what I have really found is that by just simply asking God, asking your angels, asking your spirit guides to come in and to help you, to take away some of that energy. If you're in a situation where you're in a negative environment somewhere in your life, whether it be a work situation, whether it be a relationship situation, whether it be just some self-destructive habits that maybe you are experiencing, asking God to take away that energy, to take away that feeling drawn towards something, to replace it with something new and something different. We can still have love for people and things in our life, but maybe we need to clear up some of that energy so that we can move forward on our path and really spend our time being as productive and positive as we possibly can. I also just want to reiterate that we all go through this. It's not something that only some of us experience. This has really been a shift for our collective. The solar eclipse at the end of last month was a very spiritual process, a very cleansing process for all of us. It just really, if we're in tune with it, how in tune are we with those changes that we're really being called to make? And again, what areas are we doing well in? What areas are we really rocking that we need to make sure that we're giving ourselves kudos for too? But to navigate some of these energies that are happening on a collective level, it's really important to take time for yourself, to ask yourself, your guides, really, what are you supposed to be getting out of it so that you can move beyond that energy? So please take some time for yourself to think about it, to contemplate it, to ask yourself what it means for you, and then have that spirit of bravery and confidence and determination to be able to make any changes that really in the end are going to be better changes for you in your life. I hope this helps. I hope these couple quick tips helps to move forward and to be able to use that energy that really wants to come in to help us along our path to do just that. If we fight it, it'll fight us. If we move along with it, it's a lot smoother of a transition. And really, we end up getting ultimately to where we need to be going. So I hope this has helped. Thanks for being with me today, and have a great rest of your day. See you next time.